Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, we are going to take you straight to our traffic map where you can see we have a little bit of a stoppage at US 301 just north of State Road 70. It is completely closed except for one lane southbound. That closure near 51st Avenue East. According to the Florida Highway Patrol's website, the road closure is for a police investigation. However, we are uncertain at this time if there is any danger to the public. And now to a developing story just north of Tampa. Florida officials condemning 2 more homes due to a Florida sinkhole. Authorities now facing the question, can they save that neighborhood? 6 total homes have been destroyed or condemned on Ocean Pines Drive in Land O'Lakes, plagued by a depression the size of a large pond that appeared on July 14th. And it's growing to 225 feet in just a few hours. That sinkhole now reaching about 260 feet total and 50 feet deep, setting the whole street on edge, quite literally.
Tile, for instance, was buckling and popping inside of the homes, and door frames were just not matching up.
In an effort to reduce damage to the rest of the neighborhood, crews have been brought in to stabilize the banks of that sinkhole. Then once the edges are stabilized, workers hope to remove debris with the help of a boat ramp so they can work from a barge which will end up floating on the water already in that sinkhole.
Could be a small platform for them to work from. They'll start to get the debris up onto the barge. They'll take the barge over to the side so that they don't actually drag anything up the slope.
The difficult part of this work will be watching out for more erosion as they work to get that sinkhole completely stabilized. A hazmat situation happening at a Venice strip mall. It also shut down shopping earlier this afternoon. The Sarasota County Fire Department responding to a pool supply store along Jacaranda Boulevard this afternoon after reports of a chemical spill. Crews arrived to find a 1,300-gallon tank had several holes in it and was leaking chlorine into an overflow basin. Crews working quickly to evacuate surrounding businesses in fear that the concentrated chemical may cause some inhalation problems.
With the chlorine, our hazardous materials crew advised me that typically the chlorine itself leaking isn't going to be too much of an issue, just based on it's the same type of chemical that you put in your pool, but it's highly concentrated. The main issue would be if it were to get wet, that there could be some irritation, an inhalation hazard or something to that effect.
A crew was scheduled to remove that leaking tank and replace the overflow basin that the chlorine had leaked into. No injuries were reported from that scene. Well, cleanup is underway in Oklahoma, New Orleans, and parts of the Midwest after destructive tornadoes and cloudbursts. ABC's Richard Cantu brings us a look at some of the damage.
The EF2 tornado ripped through Tulsa in the middle of the night with wind speed over 110 miles per hour. The twister roaring into a strip shopping mall. 3 restaurants still open.
Dispatch started getting calls of people who were trapped in the restaurants because the roofs had started collapsing in on them.
In the greater Tulsa area, at least 30 people hospitalized, 2 of them with life-threatening injuries. Daylight revealing extensive damage, windows blown out at this high-rise, rubble in the streets, power lines down. Some residents complaining that they received mobile tornado alerts, but the sirens remain silent.
Tornado warning, but no sirens.
In New Orleans, 9 inches of rain dropped in just a few hours. Many residents surrounded by several feet of water.
I'm just stuck here. I'm stuck. I can't go nowhere.
The only way getting out? By boat.
We all need boats. We all need boats, and we all need to be able to use them at times like this.
And in Kansas City, torrential rain thrashing windshields and flooding roadways. Water rescues required for some stranded motorists. Parts of that storm now heading northeast. Richard Cantu, ABC News, New York.
And now we head over to Steve Newman, who is in for Wendy Ross this weekend to continue to look at the current status of our weather out there. Steve, how is it looking?
Well, we still have some pretty bad weather right in the Midwest. This is where the area we had just the report from around Tulsa with the tornadoes. Well, it was around the Dallas-Fort Worth area this evening. They got some pretty strong storms and heavy rain, and you can see that green areas for flash flooding, and all that rain is heading toward New Orleans. They say they could get more problems as we move into the next week. Here in Florida, the storms we had are thinning out. Literally, you can just see the clouds almost evaporating through the evening hours after fairly stormy late afternoon and early evening across central Florida and the Sun Coast. And our radar shows that most of the storms are all gone. In fact, just a couple of little specks on the radar scope at this hour. Our overnight forecast shows that it will remain dry with light and variable winds. It's also going to be quite warm and humid with a beautiful full moon. We'll be talking about more in just a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Steve. The countdown continues until the first day of school here on the Sun Coast, and while in Sarasota County, there's still a few days left to get those last-minute supplies. For Manatee County students, it's the last weekend before they'll be heading back. Luckily, one local mother is looking to help those less fortunate parents cross off the final items on their school supply list.
Got to get clothes, shoes, and some stuff I couldn't get.
It's a year of firsts for Destiny Dexter. She recently got her 4 kids back from the Department of Children and Families. Now her 1-year-old is getting ready to start daycare for the first time as her daughter prepares for first grade.
She growing out of her shoes, so you have to buy more shoes, got to buy more clothes, so she's growing up.
Also growing, the cost of clothing and school supplies for her kids. A survey by the National Retail Federation finds families will spend nearly $700 this year on supplies. But Dexter thinks she's spending more with 4 kids heading to school.
With the daycare, I have to buy pull-ups, bring blankets, mats, and all that stuff.
Even if they have a job, it's still hard because you have bills.
Newtown mom and local comedian Latrice Allen sees families struggle this time of year, which is why she asked her fans around the country for help.
We basically raised up money like $1,500, and then I had some sending in packages and still sending in money to help me out with this.
Now dozens of kids will be ready for the first day of school with brand new backpacks filled with supplies. Allen says Sunday's school supply drive did not discriminate based on a family's income, but she made sure the only kids taking home backpacks did not already have one for this year.
Even if you work, you still deserve, to have some time, some money to yourself.
Most people are like, oh no, that's embarrassing, but it's really not. It's helpful. The kids happy, at least they got something to go to school with.
Reporting in Newtown, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And speaking of some last-minute summer fun, the Northport Mustangs Cheer Camp is getting down to business, setting their sights on victory with a fundraising car wash. The funds going towards helping the Pop Warner cheerleading squad move on for competitions to the regionals and maybe beyond to nationals. Organizers of today's car wash saying it is never too early to start planning for victory, and this is a good time to do so as working together helps prepare the team for the school year by teaching them valuable skills.
It takes a lot of trust and bonding for them to be able to do the stunt correctly and legally, so to say. So it definitely helps them out. It brings them together, keeps them occupied, keeps them out of trouble, and most importantly, it keeps them very healthy.
And as for the cheerleaders, well, they say the camp gives them the opportunity to get out of the house during the summer and meet some new friends. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, a nationwide manhunt for an accused rapist armed after a dramatic escape from a transport van. And the heartwarming rescue of a national treasure. That's all coming up after the break.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons: leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you. Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice: choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Welcome back. We have a developing situation happening out on Siesta Key right now. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies and some locals are continuing a search for a 26-year-old male who was last seen wading in shallow water around 8 p.m. Deputies working the drum circle out there on Siesta Key received the first call right after dark. Apparently, Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies searched the entire beach with an ATV, did not find that person. They have contacted the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, who is working currently with local patrol and Marine units to try and locate that person, and the search is still ongoing. Now to a nationwide manhunt that is being expanded for an accused rapist after a dramatic escape. The suspect overpowering a deputy while shackled during a van transport near Toledo, Ohio, stealing his gun. The FBI has now joined the search.
Tonight, a desperate manhunt in Ohio and beyond for an escaped inmate armed with a deputy's gun.
We've yet to find him. He has a possession of a firearm, up to 30 rounds of ammunition. He's got to be getting cold and hungry.
Brandon Powell, accused of rape, escaped Friday while being transported from a hospital near Toledo after being treated there for injuries from a suicide attempt while in jail. These hospital security images show Powell just before his escape, being led to a police vehicle by the officer. Powell is in handcuffs attached to a belt, his legs shackled. While sitting in the back of the transport vehicle, Powell somehow put the deputy in a headlock. The car crashed, and he took the officer's weapon. The inmate then forced the officer to undo his shackles before handcuffing him to the steering wheel. Powell then took the deputy's cell phone, wallet, and ammunition and disabled his radio and car. Powell fled on foot.
You don't take a pistol from one of my deputies and threaten him with it. He's going to be held accountable for that when he's located.
Tonight, U.S. Marshals and the FBI joining Ohio law enforcement in the manhunt for the armed and dangerous escapee.
He's not a good guy. If you see him, call the police. Don't get near him.
Police are still trying to figure out how Powell, with his hands manacled, managed to get his arm around that officer's neck in the police car. There was no partition between the front and back seats in that vehicle. That will now change. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, New York.
The president is out of the White House taking a working vacation as the presidential residence gets a makeover. Construction crews getting to work as soon as he left for Bedminster, New Jersey on Friday. The executive mansion is long overdue for an upgrade. It hasn't had a major renovation since the 1940s. There have been reports of leaky roofs, fly infestations, and a foul odor in the building. White House staffers will be working out of a building next door until the renovations are complete. The president is expected to return in about 2.5 weeks. Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence is blasting a report suggesting that he may run for president in 2020. The New York Times reporting on Sunday that Pence would run if President Trump did not seek re-election. But Pence issued a statement saying that the article was offensive to him, his family, and his entire team, saying that it's laughable and absurd to suggest that he is not 100% committed to Donald Trump's agenda. And nothing says America quite like a bald eagle. A couple of Maine lobster fishermen stumbling across a national treasure when just yards from their boat they spotted a bald eagle struggling to stay afloat. The two men quickly moved to help using a piece of wood to help that bird and pull him in.
He climbed right up onto the board, you know, and I was holding on to the board, and he was looking at me and I was looking at him. And they're figuring, what are we going to do with him now? It's the American bald eagle that represents the United States of America. It was a proud moment.
Those two men say they finally decided on taking the eagle back with them and handing it over to the game warden. But as they watched the eagle, as they watched, the eagle had a different plan in mind. The two watching as that eagle got up on the stern, sat there drying off its wings, and then took off for flight once again. The two men watched as it landed safely on some nearby rocks.
That's freedom, baby.
Oh, that's just
freedom.
Patriotic. Fills you up there. That's some patriotism. Beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, we had a lovely shot of I think our full moon tonight happening.
Take a look at the tower cam. Boy, what a beautiful shot. There's some clouds up there, but there's also this beautiful full moon tonight. Full, I think, early tomorrow morning. And you know what that means? That means it's 14 days, half a lunar cycle until the total solar eclipse. And what that means is it's not going to be total here, but it will look about this much. About 80% will be eclipsed. If you want to see it totally, you need to go up to Nashville, South Carolina, and a broad swath of North America. But here at home, it's still going to be bright. Even when 80% is covered up, you cannot look directly at the sun. You can damage it almost immediately. Your eyes could be damaged. So don't do that. And there are all kinds of places you can get the approved glasses. I even saw some at Walmart and some other local stores. You can go online and order them as well. You get a whole package of them for like $10. And you can also make a pinhole camera. Just poke a little hole in and focus the sun on a white piece of paper, and that's the old-fashioned way, kind of fun. Right now over the Sun Coast at the airport it's 79 degrees. Our humidity 82% with a dew point of 73. High temperatures across the state this afternoon. We're looking at 93 at Tampa, 95 at Fort Myers. Miami's high 93 and Key West about 93 as well. Bradenton's high this afternoon was 92, low 90s along the coast, but inland you can see it got up to about 95, 96 degrees. And looking at radar across the state, everything is pretty much gone. It's going to be quiet for the rest of the night, which means we can take some time looking at our tropical weather picture, which we have two tropical features to talk about. The first one, probably not going to amount to much. Only a 30% chance of this easterly wave, which has just been dissipating during the day today. We'll look more closely at it in a couple of minutes. But right now, we do have Tropical Storm Franklin. As of 11 o'clock, the National Hurricane Center said the maximum sustained winds about 40 miles an hour. They know that because the center of circulation went very near a buoy floating in the Caribbean. And right now, there's nothing impeding its strengthening other than passing over the Yucatan Peninsula. So here's the latest advisory. Franklin, 40-mile-an-hour winds moving in west-northwesterly direction at 13 miles an hour. Hurricane watch warning in effect for all of the Yucatan Peninsula. Tropical storm watch for part of Belize and down to Campeche. And all the models seem to be indicating it's going to go right over the Yucatan. Now, the GFS forecast model of wind and pressure shows it continuing to pass over the Yucatan, maybe hitting there tomorrow night about this time, weakening a little bit, but then once it hits the warm waters of the Bay of Campeche, and again, a fairly strong tropical storm, but once it hits land, dissipating very quickly over Mexico, meaning the United States will not be affected. Let's go to the Atlantic again, and this is Invest 99L right there in the middle of the Atlantic, and the spaghetti plots are all over. I don't think it's going to really amount to much. We'll watch it all week long, but it's never had any sign of really getting its act together and probably will not be affecting anyone except some fish out in the Atlantic. Now, here's our overnight futurecast showing once the storms are gone, it'll be dry overnight and tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon thunderstorms develop through the evening, and the same pattern continues again on Tuesday. Our 7-day outlook shows that we will have a pretty seasonal chance of rainfall each day. Monday, 50%, 60 Tuesday, and 50, 60 all week long with little change in temperature. And I think we're hoping John Scalzi is going to be up in South Carolina. I'm going to be near Nashville for the total eclipse of the sun on the 21st. So we're both hoping that we're going to have as much sunshine up there as you'll probably have down here, but a good time will be had by all anyway. Adam?
All right, thank you, Steve. Stay right there. Sports is coming up right after the break.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
I am powerful beyond my wildest imagination.
I will define my future.
I will keep challenging myself to improve.
Because I am a future leader of this great nation.
I will make a difference in my community.
I will not settle for simply chasing my dreams, I will achieve them.
Because I was given a chance.
An opportunity.
At Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America.
The ultimate leadership experience.
Join us. We'll build a new future together.
ABC7's official Suncoast Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Download yours today at mysuncoast.com.
Now, sports.
Well, Tampa Bay has once again avoided a sweep on their home field. Defense headlining Sunday's series finale with the Milwaukee Brewers' Evan Longoria Jeter dance, getting that tough out right there in the fourth inning. And then moments later, it was Corey Dickerson saving a run with a big sliding catch out in the outfield. It keeps the Brewers at 0 runs for the moment. But Steven Souza Jr. caps off Sunday's effort with a ninth inning walk-off home run. That's Tampa Bay's first since May of 2014. Some players say it's the type of win that helps you forget a couple of bad losses before Sunday.
That's what it was going to take. We weren't piecing together anything. I can promise you that. We tried that for 3 days and failed. So it was going to take somebody to leave the ballpark.
If our skipper can call homers like that, I mean, he should probably buy a lotto ticket. But we're just trying to piece together some good at bats. Unfortunately, this series we just couldn't get that big knock, but it was great right there to come through.
Boston will be coming to town on Tuesday for a 2-game series. They have a 5.5-game lead on Tampa Bay in the AL East. Well, Justin Gatlin scorched down the track for a massive upset at the World Championships on Saturday night, but now the runner is taking some serious heat after beating rival Usain Bolt in his final 100-meter race. Fans in London booed Gatlin even on the podium Sunday. because possibly because Gatlin has been banned twice from the sport for doping allegations. However, Gatlin thinks the outcry is more about raining on Usain Bolt's farewell parade.
If it was anything had to do with my past discretions, I think it would have been throughout my whole career up till now, and it hasn't been.
Gatlin has won 2 Olympic medals, bronze and silver, since returning from his most recent suspension back in 2010. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Windows.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Attention blood thinner users. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and co-insurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, rain, sleet, snow, or hail, the mail gets delivered without fail. Well written, Christina Heflin, our producer. At least for this New Orleans mailman, that mail is always getting delivered. He's not going to let a little floodwaters get in his way of working. Some areas of the city were hit with 5 to 8 inches of rainfall this weekend, causing businesses and roads to close down, but the U.S. Postal Service stayed open, and a New Orleans resident snapped and shared this photo to Facebook on Sunday, praising that mailman for his bravery. The employee himself has not yet been identified. However,
what a guy.
I know, just getting after it. We also want to update you. We reported a 26-year-old man missing on Siesta Key. He has been found safe and sound, so some good news there to end our newscast.
Yeah, we have good news for the week ahead. It's going to be hot and humid, but maybe afternoon thunderstorms developing each day. Our temperature is pretty much in the low 90s, going to be humid, but it's the dog days of August. What do you expect?
Not much. And now, speaking of the eclipse, Steve Newman, you're going to be traveling a little bit for
to Nashville, Tennessee, hopefully in the center line. combined get 2 minutes and 25 seconds of totality. If the sun is shining.
And then we'll have John Scalzi in another location. You guys will be
South Carolina.
giving us the coverage.
Yep.
There you go. All right, well, join us in the morning. We'll see you then.